Hey, movie lovers, this is Kyle, host and producer of the Movie Wars podcast. We're not just a movie review podcast. There's plenty of those. On Movie Wars, a panel of stand-up comedians blends humor with deep film analysis using their unique war card system to grade movies across key categories. Each episode delivers thoughtful insights and spirited debate, offering a fresh comedic take on film analysis. New episodes drop every Thursday on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. Deeply researched, gut-wrenchingly funny, you'll love Movie Wars.
Movie Wars.
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
And I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And this is Collateral Cinema. Welcome to a special Bad Movie December edition of Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, or joints, smoke it if you've got it. And yes, like I said earlier, this is Bad Movie December. We are finally here. We are finally at the creme de la creme of everything that we do here on Collateral Cinema, right, y'all?
That's right, Bo. And also, unlike other podcasts, we won't encourage you to invest in cryptocurrency and then scam you out of your money.
Yeah, exactly. Like certain podcasters out there.
No, we're just here to deliver you our takes on the worst movies to come out in cinema. Or, you know, sometimes you got to think about it as the best that the industry has to offer.
Absolutely, and there is just nobody better than Neil Breen, the Breenius, guys, the Breen himself,
who has touched humanity with his presence.
And also eliminated humanity with his presence more than a few times. Isn't that right, Robert?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is AI, so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, needless to say, he's AI, and I mean, he's also Jesus. He's also a government agent. He's an anti corporate spy. He's everything that you can think, all wrapped up into one, right?
The whole total package, yeah.
Exactly.
That's right. The celebrated filmmaker / ex-CIA / messianic entity / skilled hacker with magic powers / artificial intelligence from the future / AI humanoid, Neil Breen.
Exactly.
I keep pushing pass through and it keeps putting the double down.
Just push it again and it'll pass through.
It's weird. It was doing.
It's the Internet Archive, dude.
Yeah, I was doing that earlier.
Sorry, Ash. We're trying to have this going while we're doing this. So you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe you should
is.
consider just having your shit work. I turned on the movie and it worked.
You hearing this shit, Robert? You hear this? Can you believe this shit?
Yeah.
I cannot believe this shit.
I can believe it. So.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'll also have you guys know that as of today, I have purchased my very first DVD from Neil Breen, Cade: The Tortured Crossing, which is the one movie of his that's out now that as of this podcast that we haven't done. So I wanted to get ready for next year. I know it'll take several months, so I'm ready.
Oh hell yes, man! I mean. Yeah, we just love Neil so much. I mean, he follows us. I mean, it is about time that we give him some love in that way. And of course, on this particular episode, we're going to be giving him some love on what I think is maybe not really one of his most most notable works, but still something that kind of stands on its own. And of course, we're talking about, I believe this was 2017 this came out, I think.
2016.
2016?
This is definitely the most dreamlike of his films.
It is.
Perhaps the most unhinged. I might even go to say this is the one that is the most Lynchian.
Lynchian. I mean, absolutely. I mean, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Of course, we're talking about Thru. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of an in-between movie between like I Am Here Now and Twisted Pair. I mean, we actually, to be fair, kind of skipped it a little bit. So,
yeah.
I mean,
and essentially, it's basically I Am Here Now, but with the AI shit that we would get to see in Twisted Pair later. So, yeah, it's definitely a sight to behold. And I think this is Breen at his most unhinged. Homie straight up commits genocide, no fucks given.
Yeah, it's almost like a... It's almost like just a recurring motif with Neil Breen by this point is that, I mean, he's going to just commit genocide against millions of people. It's just something that eventually...
He's a Klaatu.
He is Klaatu, exactly. I mean...
all the corrupt politicians, all the bankers, all the lawyers, and yes, all the CEOs.
All of them, and somehow they all get their own drugs and everything, right? They get their own smack.
Got to pay everybody off.
You think even homie Brian Thompson was getting that crank from Breen?
Oh,
from the smugglers in Breen's film.
You know, and Breen found him.
Some of the best crank, right?
Yeah, Breen 100% found him.
I just want to let you guys know, okay? I tweeted Neil Breen a couple days prior to the whole shooting incident, and then lo and behold, I'm not saying it was Neil Breen, but
it was Neil Breen. Yeah. Not saying it was alien.
Maybe the AI consciousness of him.
No, he heard you. He heard you loud and clear. I mean, that's just kind of a given.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie I kind of feel is a little... it drags a little more than most of his movies, right? I mean, I don't know. There's something about this movie that it just kind of... it's not nearly as notable to me as like Fateful Findings.
It's kind of almost pointless.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue that this is probably his weakest movie.
I mean, so we can agree, right? It's almost pointless.
It is kind of pointless because I mean, it's a little bit of it's not as what's the word, as pronounced in its intent as Double Down, and nor is it nearly as quotable as Twisted Pair or Fateful Findings. I just kind of feel like it's a little... It still has all the great Neil Breenisms, you know? I mean, it's all there. And we also start to see him actually mess around with the Breen screen a little bit.
Google Earth images.
Yeah, just Google Earth. Lots of stock footage.
Windows Vista.
Wait.
Windows 19.
Wait, yeah.
Windows 9, sorry.
Wait, there was green screen in this film?
Oh, yes. This is where the Breen screen really starts to shine.
It was enhanced through Google imagery. Google Earth imagery.
I thought he was really there with that tiger in the snow, and he was in the mansion with all of those CEOs and various corrupt people.
I think that he was at Bohemian Grove or something. I think that's what that was. I mean, you know. But yeah, I mean, this movie, he initially just starts out as just some rando who's pretty much, he's pretty much just working for the cartel, and he does some kind of cleaning for them or something.
And they
I'm
pay
not
him in
entirely
drugs.
Sure. Yeah, and he does it for heroin. And I mean, it's not very convincing when they show him doing the smack. Not the most convincing thing I've ever seen.
Hey Neil, you know you have to actually stick the needle in your arm for the drug to work. You know that, right?
He was spraying what is it? water on his mosquito bites.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like, right?
Mosquito bites.
Yeah.
Was that in the Cinema Snob review? I remember one of the reviews I watched. I remember that him saying he had the mosquito bites.
He was spraying Gold Bond on his mosquito bites. There.
Yeah.
And I guess this random junkie dies at that moment, and the AI consciousness from the future takes over his body at that point.
Yeah, it's something to that effect.
Pretty much Keanu Reeves style. The Klaatu, the day they just stood still.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, it's like this is one of those movies where it's really difficult to kind of really find a through line here. Not like his other movies, I kind of feel, this is a little more disjointed than something like even Twisted Pair, I mean, and you know that whenever one of his movies actually starts to when it starts to kind of lose comprehension a little bit, that's when Neil just kind of falls flat a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta say, coming off of Fateful Findings, this is a little strange because it feels a little bit more like his earlier films, but somehow even vaguer.
Yeah. I mean...
But I also wonder, there's been some discourse on the internet about that fact that Neil might actually be kind of leaning in to the what his work is known for, that there's some form of self-awareness in all this.
I don't think that he's at that point here just yet. I don't think so. I think that...
I think we see that more with like Twisted Pair, and even then it's almost as if he gets away from the Breenisms by using the Breen screen. But the Breen screen starts in this film, and he kind of starts a whole new trope with that.
He does, and it's kind of... I guess it's mainly all of the scenes of him just kind of meandering through the Nevada desert that's kind of giving it's kind of giving this a samey quality. So I don't know. Maybe it's kind of just as well that he started to kind of use more green screen and stopped going on location as much as he used to.
Yeah.
Even though I love him going on location because it means that he can actually interact with other people out and about, and that's always classic. I mean, like for instance in I Am Here Now, in what now? I mean, he actually was in Las Vegas, but here it's even more isolated. It's like we just have this weird little hovel that he's living in. It's just in an abandoned trailer in the middle of the Nevada desert. And I mean, he doesn't have much of anything as far as like furnishings or amenities. I mean, I don't even see how he lives out there the way that he does.
Right. Yeah. It honestly, like, especially because the fact that he's paid in heroin. Like how does he live? He's got all these like food cans in his van. Is he just like picking them up from the shelter or the food drive?
That's a really good question because I mean, and the other thing is that all of the cans are completely clean. They're completely free of any like food stuff or in any remnants of its former content. So it's like not very convincing at all, right?
The trash is not even dirty. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird, but. And then there's the vagueness of his actual duties in regards to this human trafficking cartel. Like we said, he's supposed to be a cleaner of some kind, but is he just there to literally clean up trash? I mean, what's the point?
I'll clean for you. Wait, I'll clean. See? Wait a minute. I'll clean for you.
It's all clean now.
It's all clean.
It's clean. It's all clean.
It's all clean now.
I mean... I don't get it though, man. I mean, this is probably one of his most obtuse movies, and that's saying something because Neil Breen is like pretty much the king of obtuse when it comes to his screenplays, when it comes to his acting, when it comes to everything that he does. But this right here, it feels more and more like it's just like 3 movie ideas that he had just kind of floating around, and he just basically made this to just kind of tie them all together.
Aw, damn, I need some help in here.
You have no value to me on the streets. I mean, it's definitely quotable. I mean, that much is definitely for sure.
Your mother's my sister.
Your mother's my sister.
You're my niece.
You're my niece.
You're my
We have to
niece.
keep moving. Yeah, the acting in this movie, Jesus Christ.
You know, there are bits where I think this person maybe could be a competent actor if they were given something different to work with, but for the vast majority of them, I don't think they've acted a day in their life. I actually find it hard to believe that they can even form a coherent sentence.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like you could tell some of the people who actually had real world acting experience versus like just some people that they just gave a line to. It's just like Neil's just like, read it this way. It's like we'll fix it in post or something like that.
Kind of like a Wizzo, show emotion, show anger.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I'm just like, you don't need to be melodramatic in every scene. I mean, just act a little normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's what this movie is missing. Maybe Neil needed to show ass to sell movie.
It's not like he hasn't before.
Exactly. We got some ass in Fateful Findings.
We certainly did, and quite an ass it was. It was probably pretty close to being America's ass, I would say.
America's ass.
It's Nevada's ass. That's what it is. It's Nevada's ass.
Yeah, no, Tommy Wiseau is actually America's ass.
Yeah, you're right. Tommy Wiseau is America's ass, and Neil Breen is Nevada's ass. Nevada.
That's God's ass right there.
It's like by this point, the Nevada desert should just be considered its own character in the Breenaverse, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, apparently it has cave paintings and tigers just out there roaming around. I mean, it's like, Neil, did you release a tiger into the Nevada desert?
That's the cave from Smallville.
Did you do this, Neil? Did you go out of your way to like pull an RFK Jr. or something and do something weird with animals? You know
that tiger got second billing.
It did. It's like, oh my God, why are we doing this, Neil?
That's Mike Tyson's tiger.
Oh no, did he take it from Mike Tyson or Siegfried and Roy?
I was gonna say Siegfried and Roy too, but it's Mike Tyson's. So,
I don't know, man. I mean,
The Hangover from The Hangover.
Stupid. Oh my God. But anyway,
Do a lot of stupid shit when you're drunk.
oh, absolutely.
When you're fucked up.
And I'm still trying to really struggle to understand what those cave paintings were at the beginning.
That's Smallville cave paintings.
Oh, it's Smallville.
Yeah, he's basically a Kal-El.
Oh my God.
Kal-El, no.
Every time he
Kal-El,
disappeared,
no.
Every time he disappeared, he went into the cave and he was talking to Jarrell.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, still trying to figure out who he is as Kal-El.
Jesus. But I mean, yeah, apparently, yeah, it's the Smallville cave or something,
Yeah.
according to Robert. Because yeah, they're I guess after he is taken over by the AI, he ends up going to this one rock and he does what he does best. He disappears.
Into Smallville.
In fact, right here on Robert's phone, we're about to see that moment.
Yeah.
It's like I remember we were watching it, right? I mean, I was just like,
And then I showed you a clip of Smallville.
Yeah, you're just like he's gonna disappear. He's gonna disappear. Oh no, he disappeared. He fucking disappeared.
Like remember he puts
And
that
I'm just
coin
like-
into the, and then he puts his, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Just like Smallville, it's funny.
yeah, it's weird, bro. It's like goddamn.
Fortress of Solitude.
But then, like we said, there's that weird other segment where you have these three teenagers and their professor or something. I mean, and it's vaguely astronomy related. Like I don't get it. Is he looking for like Comet Hale-Bopp or something like that?
Was that fucking laser thing they were looking at?
I don't know.
That was probably what they were looking at.
It has to be because, I mean, yeah. There's this one laser dot that keeps on appearing
I was
out
like,
of nowhere.
that's the planet Namek or something. Or that was one of the Dragon Balls.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? It's Planet Namek, Robert. Really?
Either that or a Dragon Ball floating around.
Oh dear God, man! Dear Jesus!
Ash knows.
Oh, Ash knows exactly what's going on here. Yeah, it's heart of the Dragon Balls, right? Heart of the Beyblades.
Exactly.
It's heart of the Beyblades or something like that.
Catching
my ninja,
Digimon.
my ninja
catching. It's all about catching Digimon Pokeballs. I mean, how else do we become number one?
How else do you become the Hokage?
I don't know. Maybe the same way you become a Soul Society captain,
Yes.
Or the Pirate King?
or the Nine Tails Fox Demon.
I already said Hokage. You already did the Naruto reference, you fucktard.
Dude, but I referenced the Fox Demon, not the Hokage.
Yeah, but they're both Naruto references, so, you know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Bo, get it right when you start talking shit.
Motherfucker, you're the one who always brings up Yu-Gi-Oh when we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I will not have this nonsense.
It's either Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Z.
Oh God, Robert.
I just wanted to correct you.
My God, Robert.
One of the two.
Meets Liar Liar.
There you go. Meets Liar Liar. Meets Judge Mathis. Meets...
Better Call Saul.
Okay. What were we talking about now? We're talking about Pass Through or Neil Breen or something.
Yeah.
Is that something that we're talking about here, Robert?
I think
I
we're
guess we're
sort of
passing-
talking about it. Yeah.
We're passing through this podcast.
We're passing through
just-
the podcast.
just the way he did.
Yeah, these three kids, and then they're what's with their professor? Their professor is once again just laid up in Neil Breen's bedroom, in Neil Breen's living room, and it's like for some reason he has saddles and he has a bunch of boots, and they reference it. They're just like, oh, he's so eccentric, and it's like. That's not eccentric. Why does he have that shit in his fucking hospital room? What the fuck, man?
It's funny too because the hospital room that they used in previous Breen films appears to just be a spare room in the house. So at first you're not clear if he's in his own house or in a Neil Breen hospital room.
Right, exactly.
And then they drag this poor old dude along, and there's their dad is in the car. I mean, he's just a chill guy who's just going to listen to music.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna listen to music and
Just
catch some sleep.
Just a chill guy.
He's just a chill guy. Yeah, he's just chilling. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what this subplot actually has to do with the rest of the movie. I mean, I know it culminates in them meeting Neil Breen, and then they really do anything with that. It just happens. And it's revealed that Neil Breen was the source that they were looking for, and then he tells them that they can't come along, and then that's it.
Pretty much. I mean, it does a lot more with the human trafficker bit than it does with the weird astronomy and their kid and the kids and the professor and everything. I mean, it's like, I mean, is it some kind of reference to like Close Encounters or E.T. or something? Like, is it some weird like
Looking for Kal-El.
they're looking for Kal-El? I mean,
It's another Kryptonian coming out of
It's
the sky.
padding is what it is.
absolutely. Maybe that's the thing that kind of irks me about this is this movie. It has a lot more padding than some of the other Neil Breen movies.
It's the
somehow.
Winter Solstice.
Winter solstice. What are you talking about, Robert?
I don't know.
What the hell? What the hell are you even talking about?
That little red dot.
Oh God, the red dot.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for, I assumed.
I don't think we complimented Twisted Pair enough for finally doing something different. Because you're right, all four of these first four films do have kind of a samey quality to them. There's only so many shots of Neil Breen going through the Nevada desert. And it almost feels like at this point, even he's running out of ideas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It does. But he did kind of turn it around with Twisted Pair and later Cade the Tortured Crossing, because, I mean, those are actually narratively linked this time,
because Northwest Vista?
Yeah. Northwest Vista. No, it's an actual sequel to Twisted Pair this time. And I mean, I guess you could almost say that this is pretty much just I Am Here Now, just redux,
Yeah,
it's
because Double Down and Fateful Findings are pretty much almost the same plot. Although Fateful Findings managed to add a little bit more to that with the whole childhood friend and magic rock thing and the Man in Black that was going on. But this just feels like I Am Here Now, and there's really not a whole lot more to distinguish it from that, other than the fact that he calls himself an artificial intelligence, and there's more Breen screen going on here.
Yeah, and can we talk about these two girls that he takes in that run away from the human traffickers? It's like Amanda and Kim, I think their names were.
I forget how are they related again?
She was his sister. Her mother was his niece. They have to keep moving.
Their mother.
No, it was your mother.
We have to keep moving.
Some of the worst exposition I've ever seen.
We have to keep
even
moving.
in a Neil Breen film.
It's strange because the girl playing Amanda is clearly out of her element. Either that or she knows exactly what kind of movie she's in and she's just going full ham here. But also, I mean, the girl playing Kim, she seems kind of competent, actually. She seems like she's at least taken direction from someone at least once or twice.
That chick would make a good Trollmobile chick, actually.
She actually does.
I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Like, you would be good for a trauma part.
But I mean, you have Amanda, who is just, I mean, her delivery is just always like this. It's like, no, we have to keep moving. No, and it's just like, I mean, come on now. It's like, have you ever actually learned how to deliver a line? Like Kim's lines, it sounds natural. Even when she's talking to Neil, and it's just I don't know, man. It's like, how can you get such a disparate cast of characters of actors together like this?
It's probably not just her acting; it's the direction.
You're not wrong. It's definitely the direction as well. I mean that's
a lot
definitely
of it. A lot of it is like melodramatic for like every scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, this is like probably some of the hammiest acting in any of these movies, and that's saying something, I mean, we have like pretty much these groups of, I guess they're immigrants or migrants or refugees or something, or they're drug mules or whatever.
They left their country.
They left their country because of the politicians.
It's the politicians.
The politicians and the corrupt governments.
They're
and everything.
so corrupt.
Corruption.
They killed my husband.
It's just so corrupt. I mean,
isn't that corrupt?
Isn't it that immoral?
Isn't that cheating the public?
I guess so.
I mean, so far we just know these people as just some kind of nebulous cartel. I mean, most of these people, it's like they say that they migrants, that they left their own country, and I'm like, well, what country? Goddamn New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
You guys are American accent. You guys speak perfect English.
It's like,
what country?
What country is like? I mean, did you come from Branson, Missouri? What the fuck?
What country are they coming from?
Dude.
Yeah, they're in the Nevada
Exactly.
desert.
Perfect
so-
English accents. What country are you talking about?
mean,
America?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how do you? It's like most of these people are speaking perfect English. They're various ethnicities. You know, it's so nebulous. It's like, I mean, and is this even America that we're in right now? I mean, it just, it's mind blowing, bro. It's fucking mind blowing.
Mind boggling.
It really is.
Damn.
I am not of this earth. I am artificial intelligence from far into the future. I have taken on this human body in order to communicate with the humans. I can move from one time plane to another. I can't go. Many things are going to change now. I'm going to eliminate hundreds of millions of the human species.
And those causing the wars have vanished. You are not going anywhere!
I can manipulate the planes of space and time.
Accountants and CEOs are missing.
It's as if all the harmful people on Earth are disappearing.
Lead a revolt against the politicians, the corruption, and the injustices that we all know. Isn't that betraying the public's trust? If it can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. Human evolution has ended, and there can be no further advancement. The turning point is now. The cleanse has begun.
I lived to see it.
The primitive humans must continue the cleanse in order to survive as a species.
But I mean, yes, and let's talk some more about these human traffickers themselves, because of course we have that wonderful young lady who apparently has no value for anybody on the streets.
Jacqueline.
It's straight up Jacqueline for WWE. Oh my God, fucking stupid.
Hey,
Why
hey.
is she so angry?
I know she is just like constantly yelling all the time. It's like it never fails. She's just going full on like that.
I think
And it's weird.
I think it's because of the dark matter, dark energy, quantum physics, the string theory.
Oh, definitely. The
All of
string
it.
theory. Yeah. It's like, Neil, you don't know anything about any of that. What are you talking about?
Neil, do you know any of what those things mean? He's doing the
No, he
demonstration for
doesn't.
how a wormhole works while he's
How to
talking
bend
about
time,
this.
take a shortcut through time
Yeah,
travel.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously,
I saw that.
it's- I don't get it, man. I mean, I guess you could say, you know, what's to actually get here, but I mean,
The corporations and corruption.
the corporations, the corruption, the politicians. Yeah, there's that whole scene where they find the drugs. I mean, I guess that was part of the point of trafficking these people. Some of them were muling, you know, they were doing some mule shit. And yeah, they just give the drugs to like the pimps, the politicians.
CEO,
The
the
CEO.
bankers, the lawyers, the stockbrokers.
There you go.
You know, and enough for all of them to have like one party each.
Yeah, that's not even a weekend's worth of blow.
Yeah, that's like a few. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what the fuck?
We're gonna burn through all this in one night, 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah, seriously.
All of
I
us.
mean, that doesn't make any sense. Nothing here makes sense, Neil. Nothing that in this movie makes sense. It makes even less sense than before.
Well, you know, there's there's a theory, okay? If you look at this film, all right, the opening moments of the movie almost appear to be a dream experienced by the unnamed junkie that Breen portrays. And then he takes some more heroin and then he passes out again. So maybe this is all a dream. It would definitely explain that Lynchian quality that it has.
You're not wrong, dude. I mean,
but then again, maybe I'm giving him too much credit.
You could, that could be the case. I don't know.
Through Google imagery, it looks like a dream. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, just more Google imagery. Yep.
You could show several of the events of this film out of order, and it wouldn't make any more sense. It would make just about as much sense as it does.
No, yeah.
Absolutely not.
I know what you mean.
It's almost as if by this point, all of his movies are just melding together.
This scene right here where he's on the cliff, I swear I've seen this like 3 times in the movie.
I know,
just
right?
recycling the same shit, the shots. Right?
And he does some kind of ADR there to for narrative or something. I mean, I still don't even really understand what he's actually trying to say here.
He's just like fucking with a shitty ass drone from like HEB or something.
Yeah, he just says some vague quote that you can't really figure out what the point is or how it ties into the plot of the movie. It's just like, oh, okay, Neil.
Yeah. You're just smiling and nodding at that point, you know? I mean, you're just like, okay.
It's a Mentos commercial.
It's straight up like, Mentos, freshest, better, fresh, and full of life.
Just thumb and smile.
Wow.
Also, I'm ashamed to admit it took me a little longer than I would have expected to get that his name was Light backwards, that he got.
Yeah, I did too. Look, for a second, I kind of had to think about it.
That was quite possibly one of those moments where one of the few times in a Neil Breen movie I've actually rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, Neil, come on now, just come right on, Neil. And it's like literally it's been compared to the Nilbog town in Troll 2, you know, which is obviously just, you know, goblin backwards, and it's just like, oh, Neil, did you really go for that far with it, buddy? Like, really? Like, seriously, man?
It was funny.
Why didn't he just pick Light? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, that would have at least been actually a more convincing name than Till. I mean, fuck it. We have a character named Light in Death Note, and nobody questioned that.
Yeah, right. I mean, you would think,
and he's Japanese.
I mean, do you really think that Neil Breen is that aware of Death Note, though? You really are we giving him too much credit there?
Can you imagine what Neil Breen would do with a Death Note?
Oh, I mean, all of the corporate corruption and all of the CEOs and all of the corrupt politicians would just be gone.
Essentially what he does in this movie, he's Thanos. That's what he is. He's Thanos.
Oh, yeah, he did the snap, didn't he?
He's 100% Thanos. It's incredible, man. But yeah, he literally just snaps half of the populace out of existence.
Oh, he did that.
Except Thanos was dispassionate. He did it randomly, and he acknowledged that what he was doing wasn't necessarily morally correct, but it just needed to be done. Whereas Neil actually kind of seems happy about this, and he pretty much gets rid of anybody he likes at his whim. The security guards that are just doing their job, the news anchors that actually admit that what they're doing is wrong and seem to be self-aware and are obviously just doing their job as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane, man. I mean, I guess Robert's going and taking a piss.
Isn't that corrupt?
It's just all the corruption, all of everything would just cease to be, man. It would just cease to be.
Yeah. 300 million people. Like you said, this
motherfucker, 300 million people? Are you seriously for real here, Neil? We're going that kind of genocidal?
And then suddenly they all like show up at the end and piles. And on the poster, he magics them away, and then he like magics them all back just to show off to his new girl.
I know, right?
Hey, babe.
It's like
Isn't this impressive?
I know, it's crazy, bro.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, what is it with this obsession that he has with genociding large groups of people like this, you know?
Isn't that exactly what he did in I Am Here Now, too?
No, it's almost exactly what he did.
It's like the same thing again. He has like in these first 4 films at least, he has 2 roles, like super hacker or messianic entity that wipes out a significant portion of the population.
And somehow he's both here. I don't get it. He somehow manages to be both of them.
Well, and it doesn't really show off any hacking skills, but
yeah, I mean that hacking in this context is a little dubious. Needless to say,
in place of the powered off laptops, we have powered off phones, and I like how all the teenagers are like, "It works now, it's working," and I just screamed out. I was like, "No, they're not. Those phones are not on."
Exactly.
Through the power of positivity.
Through the power of positivity and through just sheer gumption. I mean, this is how we did it, right?
The screens are not on.
The screens are not on. It's just not a Neil Breen movie without a bunch of non-functioning computer equipment. It's just not a Neil Breen movie without it.
4 films in and he still hasn't figured out to turn the fucking devices on. I have to wonder if he's doing it on purpose.
Maybe they're seeing it on, but we're not. I don't know.
Or to at least, you know, superimpose something over the screen to make it look like it's on, right?
That's fine.
I mean, for Christ's sakes.
I don't know why the devices can't just be on.
I don't know either, dude. It doesn't make any. It does not compute, Neil. The computer's not working. It does not compute. It never has, and it never will.
Isn't that deceiving the public?
It totally is. Yeah, that last scene where he goes and once again, another hallmark of these movies is that he always has to have his last great culling of the elites or whatever, you know, which, hey, what do you know? That's very, very relevant trope right now, isn't it? You know, very relevant.
It certainly is.
I would say so.
You know, that's why I have to believe that Neil is connected to this somehow. There's no way he can't be.
He is. There's just no way.
I tweeted at him and I asked him to do something about the government and corporate corruption. And by God, a couple days later, he did. Neil Breen has answered my prayers. Either he granted them divinely or he did it himself.
Praise Breenius. Praise the Breenius. Praise Breezy.
Easy breezy.
But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and go through some of our favorite scenes and favorite quotes and favorite characters here. Like for me, I don't know. I like Amanda and Kim because they're just so obtuse in the way that they actually approach trying to escape from the traffickers and their entire interaction with Neil, you know, like especially Amanda, like that moment where she just says, don't come any closer, motherfucker, I'll kill you, and then just bonks him on the head with that rock. It's just it's like such a ding.
It makes me laugh every time because it makes a good ka-dunk when it hits him.
Exactly. It's I almost expected him to do like a Wilhelm scream after he got hit, you know? Like when it's like it's like wouldn't that have been incredible? That would have just been like that would have been so fucking hilarious, dude. Like seriously.
One scene we haven't talked about is the cave scene. He goes into the cave and they meet the dude that has PTSD that likes to stay away from people and scare them away with cave shadows. But one thing that was interesting is while I was watching this, I noticed, is that the jacket from Double Down?
It is. Yeah, you're right. In the cave where the dude was staying, yeah, he has the jacket from Double Down up on the wall. So, hey, what do you know, Neil? A little bit of continuity. What do you know? Who'd have thunk it, right?
Professor Charles Xavier.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was like a reference that he threw in there, like an Easter egg.
Maybe. I don't know.
Is it continuity? Why does this dude have it now?
That is a good question. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of barely remember what happened in Double Down. So
I know I get them all confused now because I think they're the same.
They're just kind of blending together a little bit.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch them again.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I liked it when he started cleaning and then he started saying like, "See, clean."
It's all clean.
It's all clean.
With that supposedly reassuring smile and everything.
Yeah, that mental smile.
I love the entire time. I love how Amanda in that scene is just right outside the door, and he's all that he's doing. He's just literally just transferring the mess outside to. He's just literally throwing cans, just dink. And the entire time she's just like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Oh, what is this?
He's dying.
What are you doing?" I love that so much.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's made to be so much whinier than she needs to be.
What's odd to me is like, did he think that their only objection to that was it being clean?
I don't know. I'm not even sure why Amanda was so urgent to get out of there. I mean, he had water, he had food.
I don't know. Needles and those heroin needles and the fucking mattress.
That's another thing. He has smack. I mean,
probably didn't want to lay around on those heroin needles with that mattress.
Probably. I don't know. But I mean, I also really love any scene with the main human trafficker chick. You know, just those immortal words, just like, because you two have no value to me on the streets. Bang! Like just, and she says it with like all the bass in her voice that she can, man. Like, I mean, she's just like, I mean, just trying to be brutal about it, you know?
My grandma, why did you shoot her? Because you have no value in the streets to me. Bang!
Yeah, she once again, just lots of random killing in this movie. That's another thing that you see in a lot of Neil Breen movies. Is just random death for no reason, and this one has that in droves.
When the two of them are just yelling at each other, going back and forth, "You're God, no, you're God." I couldn't help but laugh.
I'm gone. And then he slowly backs out so that he doesn't fuck up the edit for the fucking disappearing. It's like, oh, Neil, really? Fucking really, Neil? But Robert, what do you what are some other interesting scenes from this movie? I know you're sitting there just watching it, Robert.
Yeah, because you're watching me watch it. So
I'm watching you watch it.
Yeah, I mean that's what's happening, right?
I mean, what do you think, Robert? What do you think about the human traffickers in this movie?
I think they look like human traffickers, Bo.
They look like human traffickers. Mm-hmm. That's very nondescript.
What do traffickers look like, Robert?
We're not talking about what they look like. What do you think about them?
I don't know. What do you want me to say, Bo?
Dear God, already pissing me off.
Sorry, I feel that way.
God damn it.
It's just a feeling you're having. I can't do anything about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Robert. Every fucking time I try to do something good for the podcast, I try to make you happy.
Do you think you're doing something good for the podcast?
I try to make you happy. I dance around you. I send positive vibes your way.
Oh, positive vibes.
And you just shit all over them, Robert. Why?
I don't know.
You're just like the lady, the human trafficker lady. You're just like, oh, damn. It's like you're just stomping on my balls, Robert.
Again, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, well, you know what? Screw it. Final thoughts. Robert, what are your final thoughts on this movie?
Well, it's like I've always said, they all feel like the same movie to me. But I don't know. I've only seen it probably twice, other than a freaking review on YouTube. That's about it.
Yeah. This does have a pretty classic Cinema Snob episode attached
Cinema
to it.
Snob episode. Not really too much to say for me, because I haven't seen it enough. So
Yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, it's like I said, it's like his most nondescript movie, you know? It just kind of passes by, I guess, you know?
Passing through.
You know?
I mean, he's even passing through, too. You know? Then he turns into Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern stuff. Right?
He turns into Ryan Reynolds. Oh, God.
Yeah, all the Green Lantern, green stuff. The Northern Lights.
Yeah, Ash, your final thoughts.
Well, like, at least with like his early films like Double Down or I Am Here Now, you understand that he's just getting his feet wet, that he doesn't really, you know, kind of understand the process. I don't think he ever does understand the process, but, you know, there's some coherency that comes with Fateful Findings, or at least a more entertaining value. That movie definitely felt a lot more memorable in how bad it was. And this kind of just devolves back into, you know, the quality of his earlier films, but even vaguer and more nondescript somehow. And I don't know if that was intentional. I don't really know what he was going for here. I mean, I've watched this at least like 3 or 4 times now, and you know, I struggled to tell you anything about this film. I think that's what it is. This is the first Neil Breen movie I've watched where I was like, yeah, well, it was another Neil Breen movie.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I'm thankful at least that like from here he does start to be a little bit different. In a sense, though, you know, you might argue that it sort of loses that charm, but at this point, it's like, how many times can you do that? And I think that's kind of how I felt with Pass Through. Like, how many more times can we do? Don't get me wrong, though. There are so many lines in this movie that just made me crack up. This is definitely going to be. It's more of Breenius at work. So I still wholeheartedly recommend it. I mean, you could just as easily watch this as any of his other films and get a feeling for what the man is about.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think that this is definitely not the Neil Breen movie that you show somebody who hasn't seen a Neil Breen movie, you know? Because I mean, by this point, he's had some time to cook, and he's kind of, like you said, he's starting to kind of fall into his own little trappings here and there. And yeah, he's first trying to experiment a little bit. Like, we're starting to see more of the Breen screen here, and that becomes more prominent in Twisted Pair, and then eventually in Cade. But I mean, yeah, I even struggle to really find much to say about this as well, because it's I mean, if there's such a thing as a standard Neil Breen movie, this is it right here. This is as standard as you get. You know, I mean, yeah, you have the obtuse dialogue, you have the sketchy acting, you have the Nevada desert, you have all of those elements, and it just kind of shows that that well is starting to run out here. And I think that it's really why he started to lean in to some of the things that he's been doing lately, as he did. He started to lean into this movie a little bit, but not to full effect, you know? Like, I mean, whenever Neil Breen uses green screen, it's such a fantastic moment, you know? And it actually kind of makes the awkwardness a little more charming when that happens. But even so, I just have to ask Neil, why did you let a tiger out into the Nevada desert? Why is there a hairy dude making the cave drawings at the beginning of the movie, Neil? Neil, why is this character on smack? Like, why do we need to have more drugs in these movies, Neil? I mean, Neil, what were you trying to do with the whole human trafficking thing? I don't understand it. What was the red dot, Neil? What was that? I fail to understand what the dot was, and the dot showed up in weird places. What was up with the teenagers and the professor? That went nowhere. I mean, why does there always need to be genocide in these movies, man? Like why are we genociding millions of people, even if they're bad people? It's like, my God, man, I fail to grasp that. And Neil, for the love of God, Neil, for the love of all that is holy, why did you have to fucking make all of these fucking migrants so nondescript and then just tell them to go back to where they came from, Neil? You told migrants to go back where they came from. What the fuck, man?
Neil, in one scene, we are all one race. There are no races or cultures. Neil, in a couple scenes later, go back to your own countries.
I mean, I get that he's trying to be sincere with that. I get it. He's trying to say, like, go be leaders and take action and organize in your own countries. But it's like, Neil, it doesn't really work that way, does it, Neil? It just doesn't, man. You know? I mean, it's standard for these movies to make me just question everything, but that was about it this time. I mean, I found a lot of this to be a lot less inexplicable than before. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we've just finally seen enough of these movies. I mean, technically, the only other movie that's left for us to do is Cade, and until he makes anything else, that's pretty much it for a little while. So, I mean, I am just glad that he definitely went in a different direction after this, because the cracks were kind of starting to show a little bit here.
Yeah.
But yeah, do I recommend this movie? I mean, yeah, but like I said, don't let this be like the first Neil Breen movie that somebody sees. Do at least I Am Here Now, if not Double Down. I would say maybe Fateful Findings might be, I mean, for a lot of people, that's their first one. But I would say, like, even maybe don't show them that right away. Show them something like I Am Here Now or Double Down. This right here, I don't know. This is not the type of movie that you introduce Neil Breen to somebody, you know? But yeah, it's a Neil Breen movie. What can you say? All right. Now, Ash, what is going on with Collateral Gaming?
Well, we did just get our episode out, part 2 of our episode out on Silent Hill 2 Remake. So you can go find that wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as of the time of recording this, we did just release a new Let's Play on Collateral Let's Play. And that is the second in our series of Call of Duty Saturday. So that was Black Ops 6 Zombies. We played the new map that just came out a couple days ago, Citadel des Morts. So that was a lot of fun. For our December content, once we get through our November content, which is our 2-part episode on Mario and Luigi Brothership, we should be doing Zelda month. So we have Mr. Dan Rockwood and guests from the last video game podcast joining us for our 2-part discussion on Ocarina of Time, and then our holiday special is going to be on The Grinch. So very excited to get into all of that and to jump into the new year with all of you.
Yes, thank you, Ash. And we are also doing our own Collateral Let's Play series, and that is on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We recently had Robert here and Ash in studio, and we played through the first case, the first turnabout. So that's on both of our YouTube channels, as well as the most recent Call of Duty Saturday. And by this time, we do have Back to the Future out. I mean, that was a little late, so we're kind of trying to get back on track and everything. And after this, we are going to do our second Bad Movie December episode, and that is going to be on Samurai Cop 1 and 2, which ties in a little bit to what will be our season finale and our 100th episode. Tommy Wiseau is in the second Samurai Cop movie, but in order to talk about that movie, we got to go into the first movie a little bit. So, yeah, look for that coming out very soon, and we should also have our holiday content out. We should be recording that here very soon, and that's going to be with Josh Berkey from, also known as Captain Nostalgia. He's from Victims and Villains and Abyss Gazing and everything. He's going to join us for Terrifier 3. And on our director's cut post-holiday wrap-up, that's going to be on, once again, another Adult Swim episode, and that's going to be on the Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Crimbus special, which is very near and dear to me because I love me some fucking Tim and Eric. I love that shit. And the Crimbus special is pure, just the pure essence of that show. So yeah, look for that coming very soon. And yeah, we will also see you in the new year. It's like, this is going to be an interesting year, needless to say. So yeah, we're going to be there. We're going to entertain you.
And of course, we'll, like we did last year, we'll do a year in review episode on both podcasts.
Absolutely.
In January to cover all of the new releases of 2024 that we didn't get to do a at the movies or game launch episode on.
Yes. And in January, we will be getting into our anime month, where we will be doing The Last, Naruto the movie, and Ghost in the Shell. That's going to be with Anime Talks and the Retro Anime Podcast, respectively. So, yeah, look for that coming very soon. And Robert, any news on the filmmaking front?
Oh, no, nothing yet, really.
Not really?
Nah.
You weren't inspired by the Breen?
Nah, not yet.
Come on, Robert. I mean, it's the Breenius. You gotta pick off a chunk of the Breenius and use it as your own.
I have an idea. Robert. What if I come in as an artificial intelligence from the far future? I mean, we killed off my character in Texas Sundown. So what if an artificial intelligence inhabits my body, and then that's how we explain my presence in the second film? And I'm just this messianic entity that's going to wipe out all of the evil and corruption in the world, and including the guys that got me.
I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it.
I don't know. I've been thinking of a few different stories and actually just working on a part 2, but I don't know.
Right on, dude.
Nothing big, really.
Well, yeah, you heard it here, folks.
Think on it.
Texas Sundown 2 coming soon.
Nah, it's just it's not coming. Sorry.
This motherfucker. Well, anyways, I guess that we can go ahead and wrap things up. Ash, where can you find Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema?
Wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, where we've recently re-uploaded all of our content in RSS forms, so everything should be there, organized neatly into playlists. And you can also find us on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, that dead bird app that we shall not speak of, and as well as Blue Sky and Threads, which we've been investing quite a bit more into for anybody that's migrating away from that app that is strangely named after a letter of the alphabet.
You know what's hilarious? Elon literally just made Brand X from Food Fight. He literally just made it.
No.
It's just like, oh my God, Elon, really? Are we doing Brand X? Mm-hmm. Oh God, this is once again very interesting year coming up. Yeah, and also, I mean, did you also bring up the TeePublic store?
We also do have our merch store on TeePublic, so if you'd like to support the show, feel free to get you some Collateral Media swag. I don't know, maybe we should come up with some Neil Breen inspired merch.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
Yeah, as long as we don't hear from the man's legal team himself, which is himself, by the way.
Yeah, it's all him. Yeah. In the credits, everything that just has an N and a B is just Neil Breen.
It's just Neil Breen. He actually admits it in the credits.
I'm sorry, that's fucking gangster. I respect him so much for that. It's so gangster. But yeah, check us out on all the social medias and all the podcasting apps. And with all that said, is there anything else that y'all would like to add?
No.
Damn it, Robert, you're supposed to say something snarky.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're good.
God damn it, Robert. Robert is in non-participation mode. I think he is becoming anarchist cat.
I'm already done with this episode, so.
This motherfucker. God damn it.
I'm passing through, so.
I think that none of you have any value on the streets.
No, none of you have any value to me on the streets.
Be gone.
Right on. Yeah, and with all that said, I am Till Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
I'm Retsnom, spelled Retsnom.
Oh,
which
no.
has nothing to do with the energy drink that's sitting on my desk.
That's funny.
And this was our first episode of Bad Movie December. We'll be back with Samurai Cop 1 and 2, y'all. Laters. Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.